CBS Atlanta News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good Sunday morning to you. I'm Stephanie Fisher. I'm in for Brandon this morning. Public Affairs on Peach this morning, we're going to take a look at a number of health issues that we face every day, from heart problems to breast cancer. Plus, this tough question: what is the real cost of health care? Did you know that sudden cardiac arrest is the #1 killer of Americans? #1. Every year, it claims the lives of more than 350,000 people in our country. That's roughly 1,000 people a day, or one person every 90 seconds. Dr. Michael Toka is a cardiologist right here in Atlanta, and Loretta Benbow is one of his patients. Thank you both for being with us this morning. We appreciate it. First, doctor, tell us how a sudden cardiac arrest differs from a heart attack.
Great question. The sudden cardiac arrest is really a problem in the plumbing system, or not in the plumbing system like a heart attack, where there's a blockage in the vessels, and that's a heart attack. It's more so a problem of the electrical system, where the electricity in the heart causes a short circuit, which causes the heart to go into an abnormal rhythm. Mostly when you see this on TV and TV shows is sort of when you see them have to shock a patient out of a dangerous rhythm.
What are some of the signs or symptoms that we might see when a sudden cardiac arrest is going to be coming?
Sometimes people don't have any signs or symptoms beforehand, which is the most concerning thing. But sometimes people will notice shortness of breath, or fast heartbeats, or abnormal heart rhythms. Also, patients who have had episodes where they've passed out is a concerning sign for a risk of sudden cardiac death.
Loretta, when did you start seeing Dr. Toka, and what were some of the signs that you were exhibiting?
I started seeing Dr. Toka about October of last year, the beginning of October last year.
And why did you start seeing him?
Well, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and I was seeing a doctor, and they suggested that the medicine wasn't working anymore, and that they actually thought that I might be a candidate for hospice. And at that time, I agreed to speak with a specialist, Dr. O'Feely, who then introduced me to Dr. Toka.
Loretta, how did you feel at that point in your life? Were you fatigued? Did you have pain? What were your physical symptoms?
I was very fatigued. I couldn't walk from it was difficult to walk from going in the hospital, to walk from my car to the front door. I would have to stop and rest. And then to get in the hospital, to get to the doctor's office, I would have to stop in the hallway and rest a couple times.
Doctor, is this common, this feeling of fatigue, not being able to get from here to there without resting?
Exactly. As the weakness of the heart progresses, oftentimes patients will notice shortness of breath and fatigue, just as Ms. Benbow did. And it can become progressive over time so that they can walk less and less and will feel more and more short of breath.
If somebody's feeling that way, what would you suggest they do? Do they need to see a doctor immediately?
One of the biggest issues that we notice is that patients not coming to the attention of a doctor at all. And so we notice this in all communities, but especially in minority communities, that patients don't even get to a doctor, and at the doctor they need proper evaluation, both in terms of their blood pressure and things, but also oftentimes in terms of a ultrasound of their heart and echocardiogram to evaluate their heart function.
Doctor, what is an ICD?
An ICD is a defibrillator, and so for patients who are at risk for these sudden cardiac death, such as Ms. Benbow, they would get a defibrillator, a cardiac defibrillator, and what that does is it watches the heart, watches every heartbeat, and if patients do have a fast, dangerous heart rhythm, it will work to pace them out of it or shock them out of that rhythm, potentially saving their life and stopping them from passing out or passing away.
It's something that's implanted.
Yes, something that sits inside the body like a pacemaker and has wires that go inside the body to the heart.
And Loretta, you have an ICD.
Yes.
Yes. How is that impacting your life? Do you feel better?
100% better. It's changed my life. I have energy. Even the second day after I got it, I woke up from the surgery, and the funny thing was, I said, when are they going to do the surgery? And my nurses said they did it yesterday. And I said, no. And they said yes, and they had to actually show me the scar because I didn't believe it. I felt exactly like I do now, lively, bubbly, and very excited about life.
Is ICD something that is only for patients who are at risk for sudden cardiac arrest?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So the defibrillation, Miss Benbow actually has a defibrillator that has two special components. One is the defibrillator, which protects from fast, dangerous heart rhythms and can potentially save someone's life. Secondarily, she has a third wire which helps her heart squeeze better. Heart was very weakened when I first saw her, and this type of device helps her heart squeeze better, so she has more energy and can overall do better.
Doctor, is this an alternative to someone getting on a long list to wait for a new heart, or is this a different type of surgery altogether?
This is usually this happens prior to someone receiving a heart transplant. A heart transplant is oftentimes for people who are in very severe end stage,
Last resort
situation, where this is often something for patients who are doing, who are either relatively sick or are doing relatively well, but have this significant risk for sudden cardiac death.
Loretta, I bet you have learned so much about heart health and how important your heart being healthy means to your whole well-being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And exercise, that's the one thing that I'm doing, but that's the stickler. You have to exercise. It makes a big difference.
Doctor, you second that, I'm sure.
Exactly. There's a number of important areas that end up being important for people just to keep track of. The first thing is just knowing your numbers and taking a personal responsibility in terms of your blood pressure, in terms of knowing how your heart is squeezing, the percentage which your heart is squeezing. Those things are very, very important in terms of knowing those numbers and being aware of those numbers and making sure that those numbers are in the right range. The second thing is exercise, and exercise is going to be very important for all of us 3 to 4 times a week, making sure that we're exercising, doing cardiovascular exercises where we're running or swimming or biking.
Get that heart pumping.
Exactly, exactly.
And I'm sure diet plays a role as well.
And then eating a healthy diet, avoiding the fast food, avoiding the fried foods, avoiding the salt to try to help out the blood pressure and help out the heart.
Dr. Toka and Loretta, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Good health to you. We appreciate you coming on the show. Still to come this morning, meeting the needs of people who have beat breast cancer. We're going to talk to a woman who's made that her life's mission.